In the latest developments revealed for Tuesday, April 1st, a series of shocking events happened to the main characters, especially the couple Steffi and Finn. Fans were shocked by the news that Steffi discovered she was pregnant, but the joy was short-lived when tragedy struck and took her life, along with her unborn child. Below is a detailed analysis of the story's developments. Steffi is shocked to discover she is pregnant despite her desire to be a great mother. Steffi was still stunned to learn that she was pregnant. This was good news, bringing much hope for her and Finn's future, especially after the events they had been through. However, at the time Steffi received the good news, her relationship with Finn was under a lot of pressure, especially related to the sudden appearance of Luna, the daughter that Finn had just discovered. Finn is not ready to receive the good news, although having a child with Steffi was Finn's wish. At this moment, he is shaken by another shock. Luna turns out to be his biological daughter. The story suddenly turns around, causing Finn to face a series of responsibilities and mixed emotions. The happiness of being a father again should be complete, but now he has to shoulder the pressure from the past, along with concerns about being a father to Luna. Finn is confused by the news of Steffi's pregnancy. Partly because he is not mentally stable after what happened, partly because of the fear of not being able to take care of both children. However, aware of his responsibility as a man, he decides to plan with Steffi for the future of their small family. The fateful trip to dispel the tension and want to create beautiful memories for Steffi, Finn arranges a trip to the beach. The purpose of the trip was not only to rest and relax, but also to give Finn some private space to think about how to deal with the shock of Luna and Steffi's pregnancy. Love, responsibility, and past regrets intertwined in Finn's mind, urging him to spend as much time as possible with Steffi. However, the fun was not complete when tragedy struck. While Steffi was swimming in the sea, a strong wave suddenly came and swept her away from the shore. Although Finn ran to her in time, trying to grab her hand, the strong current made him gradually lose sight of Steffi. Finn's panic and helplessness became a horrifying scene before the eyes of the surrounding tourists. Tragedy in the midst of the raging waves. When Steffi was swept away, all rescue efforts were immediately deployed. Screams and calls for help echoed throughout the beach. The rescue team arrived at the scene with full equipment and medical staff, but it was too late. Steffi was found motionless, with no signs of life. Finn's tears choked. His painful cries echoed as he hugged Steffi's cold body tightly, completely devastated by witnessing the passing of his most beloved wife. The tragedy doubled when Steffi's death also meant that her unborn child would never have the chance to see the light of day. This was an unimaginable shock for a man who had just received the news that he was about to become a father. Finn faced the pain of losing his wife and unborn child from the small hope after a series of stressful days to Steffi's sudden departure. Everything was like a nightmare with no way out for Finn. He fell into a state of extreme pain and torment for not being able to save Steffi. Finn blamed himself for not being strong enough to pull Steffi back, unable to protect her and the child in his womb. Pressure from Luna being his daughter. While he had not yet arranged his relationship with Luna, he lost his wife and future child. This makes the sadness multiply. Confusion about the future. Steffi used to be Finn's spiritual support. Now that he has lost her, he will have to face a lonely life, struggling in chaos and loss. Consequences and unanswered questions. Whether Finn can overcome this huge incident or not is a question that makes viewers hold their breath waiting. Everything comes to him too quickly and painfully. A child suddenly appears from the past, and at the same time another child just formed in Steffi's belly and forever leaves with his mother. How will Finn recover? Will the relationship between Finn and Luna be affected after this shock? How will Steffi's family react when receiving the bad news? And how will they cooperate with Finn to overcome the pain? Drama and anticipation for the next episode. Steffi's sudden death is not only a great sadness for Finn, but also a shock for all those who love this character. The tragedy marks an important turning point, opening up countless more dramatic situations in the future. From here, the audience will have to patiently wait for the next developments. to see if Finn will go to the brink of despair or will try to overcome the pain to continue the journey ahead. With all the sympathy for Finn's pain, viewers will also be curious about how the surrounding characters react, support, or confront each other when losing Steffi. Will Finn take on everything, bravely move on and face the responsibility of being a father to Luna, or will he choose to avoid it? Everything is still a mystery, promising new and surprising twists for the movie The Bold and the Beautiful. A series of dramatic events surrounding the characters Elektra and Luna are taking place, making the audience confused and curious about what will happen next. Below is a detailed and expanded analysis of the remarkable events that have just been revealed. Elektra needs to be more careful against the threat from Luna. Elektra seems to have no way back when facing the growing threat from Luna, a mysterious and calculating person. After being turned against by Steffi and accidentally pushed into a difficult situation, Elektra is now in a passive position. Luna has long had suspicious moves, even secretly following and knowing Elektra's every move. Luna's sneaky actions sound the alarm that Elektra must be really smart if she wants to escape this danger. In the current context, viewers cannot help but wonder, why did Elektra clash with Luna? There are many theories that Luna is targeting Elektra not simply because of personal hatred, but also because of calculations related to money or some dark secret. Elektra seems to collide with Luna at the same time she is facing too many troubles, including Steffi's suspicion and pressure from her personal life. Elektra's overconfidence or subjectivity in front of Luna's plot may make her pay a heavy price. The abandoned building. The old haunting is returning. Information surrounding the abandoned building, where Sheila was previously discovered after being kidnapped, suggests the scenario that Elektra may also be imprisoned at this very location. The past of Sheila almost losing her life in that deserted place makes this hypothesis even more chilling. Is Luna reenacting the brutal tricks that the hidden person used in the past? The appearance of the abandoned building is not just a random setting. This could very well be a convenient base for Luna, a person who is always hiding, ready to act cruelly. Elektra should have realized the danger early and found a way to stop Luna before she was cornered. Obviously, the decision to fight Luna has forced Elektra to step into a life-and-death battle with a dangerous enemy whose consequences she has not yet fully anticipated. The confrontational relationship between Elektra and Luna is disguised as a money-hungry stalker. Many people mistakenly think that Luna is just a money-hungry stalker who specializes in stalking others to blackmail or exploit them. However, Luna's increasingly vicious actions prove that she is not simply a gold digger. Luna is willing to do anything, including murder, to achieve her goals. Elektra also begins to wonder, is she misjudging Luna? Is Luna not just a stalker, a bully, but also related to a criminal network or has a pre-planned plan to harm many people? Elektra's awareness of the problem may have helped her stay sane, but she seemed to be at a disadvantage against an enemy so ruthless. New images reveal Luna's brutal attack on Elektra. Information shows that Luna did not hesitate to eliminate her opponents by forcing them to overdose on drugs. This is clearly one of the methods of killing that easily erases the traces, making the victim look like they died from a normal drug shock. Elektra became the next target, enduring the scene of Luna forcing her to take extremely high doses of drugs. The drug shock not only devastated Elektra's body, but also pushed her into a coma. This was the tragic turn, signaling that Elektra could lose her life before she could call for help. Luna's cruel and cold personality was clearly shown. She had carefully prepared to blame Elektra by hiding drugs in the victim's own house. Will discovered Elektra unconscious, the police quickly concluded that Will, Elektra's lover, was the first person to find her unconscious and foaming at the mouth. This image shows that Elektra had suffered a severe drug overdose, putting her life on the line. The despair on Will's face reflects the pain and shock he felt when he suddenly faced the horrifying scene. When the police arrived at the scene, they seized a large amount of drugs in Elektra's house. All the superficial evidence pointed to Elektra being a heavy drug addict, leading to her death from drug overdose. In his panic, Will had no chance to explain or raise any other questions. He was completely devastated when he learned that the girl he loved was likely a long-time addict as the police had speculated. Will Bill suspect and find the real clues? In the context of everyone being fooled by the fake scene, Bill, a key figure in the investigation and connecting information, is faced with the question. Will he be quick enough to suspect Elektra's death and detect the unusual signs? Elektra has no history of drug addiction, on the contrary. She was once famous for always trying to overcome all difficulties. If Bill perseveres and uses all relationships to dig deeper into the truth, it is very possible that he will find traces of Luna, the sophisticated mastermind who orchestrated everything. But the path to finding justice for Elektra is certainly not easy, especially when all the current evidence is against the victim. Drama and twists ahead with this series of unexpected developments. The movie The Bold and the Beautiful is becoming more tense and dramatic than ever. Elektra is on the brink of life and death, and at the same time suffering injustice because of being cruelly trapped. Luna is still at large, mysterious, and extremely dangerous. Viewers are anxiously watching to see what Will do when faced with the harsh truth about his girlfriend. Will he accept the police's hasty judgment, or will he speak up to demand justice for Elektra? In another development, will Bill, as the one who can turn the situation around, be able to intervene in time to expose Luna's plot and save Elektra from a tragic end? All of these unanswered questions promise to push the film's plot to a climax. Overall, the new details of The Bold and the Beautiful show that Elektra is being pushed into an extremely dangerous and painful situation, while Luna continues to show her terrifying villainous face. Fans will not be able to take their eyes off the screen, looking forward to every thrilling moment and the next twists of the story. Will the truth be revealed? Will justice belong to Elektra? Or will Luna continue to be at large? Everything is still a mystery, promising many thrilling dramas in the next episodes.
Oh,